Hello, everyone out there in the internet world. Thank you for joining us this evening. My name is Jake. I'll be one of your hosts this evening. With me is my colleague, Shauna. Shauna, say hello.
Good evening, everyone.
Hi. And then we also have several of our colleagues. Oh, goodness. I just have to. Oh, we're just going to do this real quick. Okay, there we go. Sorry, YouTube is feeding back in my ears, and that was really, really strange. All right, so with me are some colleagues out in the YouTube chat, manning things there. We're going to talk about that in just a second, but first I want to introduce who we are exactly. So we are members of Hoke County Schools Digital Teaching and Learning Team. Our 10-cent title is Digital Technology Instructional Facilitators. What that really means is instructional coaches. We help teachers implementing technology in the classroom. At least that's what we do more traditionally during I'll call it a more regular school year. With everything going on as it is right now, we are providing support, of course, to you out there as well, our families and students who definitely need it with everything that's going on right now. So the format for this evening is going to be Shauna and I talking to you for a little while, explaining kind of the process with things you need to know for remote learning from home. If you have questions, go ahead and throw those into the YouTube chat, and our team members who are manning the chat there will do their very best to answer those questions in the chat for you. And if there's something that maybe they need us to address out loud, they're going to pass that along to us. And at the end of the session, we will try and touch on that. Okay. Also, this is being recorded, so you can always come back to our YouTube channel and watch this session over again. If I talk too fast and breeze past something that you need to, catch again later, come on back and watch it again whenever you wish. We're going to go through things sort of chronologically. That will make more sense as we get started. So we're going to try and cover the process from beginning to end of how you're going to assist your student, or if you are a student, how you will manage things on your own during remote learning. All right, so let's go ahead and jump in to the first topic, which is getting online in the first place. Many of you out there probably have access to the internet already. If you are watching this, it means you have access to the internet somehow, but it's possible that you are watching this perhaps on a wireless hotspot on a device provided by the school district for wireless access. Or maybe you're watching this on your neighbor's Wi-Fi, and when I say the school district will give me a wireless hotspot, you're surprised. But yes, we have wireless hotspots for students who need access to the internet. If that is you, if you are one of those folks who need one, you're going to request that from your home-based school. Right? So even if you're a virtual student, you are assigned to a school, you have homeschool. That's the school that you would contact if you need a hotspot. Now, as folks are using these hotspots, you'll see a couple of them. They're from Verizon, they might be from Kajit, depending on what kind of devices you have from the school district. You might have a different brand of a hotspot. But what you might notice is sometimes you're not going to be able to connect devices to them, particularly if you're trying to hook your phone up to it, or gosh, I'm going to try and hook my TV up to this device and stream some YouTube on my off hours. So unfortunately, that's not going to work. The hotspot devices are only going to work for Hoke County school devices, right? But if some of the Hoke County school devices are having trouble connecting, like your child's Chromebook isn't connecting to the hotspot, or the iPad that your daughter is using will not connect to the provided hotspot, you need to call or email tech support. That would be us. And I have all that contact information at the end of this presentation for you. So just let us know and we'll help you out with that. The other thing that you should know about these wireless hotspots is they don't have truly unlimited bandwidth. And the reason that is important is because during remote learning, a lot of teachers are using Zoom. And Zoom is what I like to call a resource hog. It eats up a lot of bandwidth. I don't have the figures memorized, but it's a lot. So if your child is Zooming 4 hours a day with teachers, it is possible that you're going to run into bandwidth issues. That hotspot might say, hey, no more data, or I can't connect. You need to let your teachers know if this is happening and see if we can find a way to mitigate that. But Zoom is a bandwidth hog. So just be mindful of that if you're on a Hope County Schools device. The other thing that you might run into, and I've only seen this a couple of times, but I'm going to mention it anyway, is strange messages appearing on the screen of your hotspots. So for instance, one of my colleagues sent us a picture in the chat a couple days ago, and it was one of our hotspots that had a message from Grubhub that said, thank you for your order from this pizza place. You can come pick it up at whatever time, or it'll be there whenever. Of course, no one ordered anything from Grubhub, and how it got texted to a hotspot number, I will never know. But if you are running into strange messages on your hotspot, again, contact us and let us know, and we will try to get that taken care of for you. All right. Let me jump to the next thing. All right, so let's talk about, we're here to talk about Chromebooks. Let's go ahead and talk about Chromebooks. So if your child is 3rd grade and up right now, they will have a Chromebook from the county. If your child is a 2nd grader, they will have a Chromebook soon. They don't have one now, they have an iPad now, but they will have a Chromebook. So it's important for you that you know this too. All right, so let's talk about getting your child onto the Chromebook in case you don't know how to do that already. So to get yourself onto the Chromebook, you really need 2 pieces of information. That is your child's Hoke County Schools email address and the password that goes with that email address. So it's as simple as typing in the Hoke County School email address in its entirety. So what I mean is you have to have the @student.hcs.k12.nc.us. You have to have all that jazz after their username, and then type in your password. And once you click that in, if you typed it correctly, the Chromebook will load for you. But it's going to take a couple minutes to do that, specifically because there's extensions and apps and things that have to be pushed down to the user account. If you see other messages on your screen besides the login screen, such as a screen that says enterprise enrollment, that is a screen you should not be seeing. And it's something, unfortunately, that you can't fix. So once again, I'm going to ask you to contact somebody to fix that for you. It's going to be, it's not just tech support. You're actually going to contact your school, your media coordinator at school for that if you are a AB student. So if your student attends a couple days out of the week, you're going to contact your media coordinator for that. If you are a fully virtual student, though, go right ahead and call us or email us here at Tech Support, and we'll get you taken care of with that. And the same is true for if you see any kind of message that says your account is disabled or to contact an administrator or any kind of stuff like that. Contact your media coordinator if you're an AB student, and Tech Support if you're fully online. All right. Okay. Oh, everyone's favorite screen. I cannot tell you how many questions a day we get about this screen right here. And I see Shauna laughing in the video. I have the sound muted right now, Shauna, because it was getting some weird feedback. So you have to wave if you want to say something. But we get a lot. Okay, we get a lot of questions about this screen. So this is Zscaler, which is just another security screen, and mainly this is going to come up for students using their devices from home. It's probably not going to pop up while they're at school. But if you're on your home network and you see this, all you have to do is enter your child's email address, the whole thing. So jsmith82@student.hcs.k12.nc.us, that whole thing. And once you click sign in, it'll go right past it and you can keep on doing what you were doing. If you type in the email address and it tells you to enter a password, what that means is you actually made a mistake in typing the email address. Commonly what I see is people will forget to put the student part of the email address, or they might think they were typing .hcs, but they put .kcs or some little thing like that. So just check your email address very carefully and make sure that it is exactly what it's supposed to be, and you'll be able to move right past this screen. Okay, once you bypass it, you probably won't have to enter it again for a while until your student logs out of their device. When they log back in, they might get the screen again. But if they do, just type in email address and cruise right on past. All right, rapid identity. I'm going to let Shauna take it away.
Hey guys, I have one more thing to say about the Zscaler, and that is if you, a lot of times, many of your students will start typing in their email address, and normally things that we've typed in the past will show up at the bottom right up under there. And if your student clicks on that and it keeps saying no, then more than likely they have, in the previous times they've tried to log in, they may have typed it in wrong. So please make sure when you are using, when the Zscaler pops up, that you completely type it in. Try not to go off of the memory of the computer. Okay, so what I'm going to talk about with you guys for just a few minutes is going to be our favorite, which is rapid identity. Many of you have been trying to get onto Canvas, and we know that the preferred method to get onto Canvas is to use rapid identity. And that is because that's where your school net is located. That's also where Power School is located. And if you log in to rapid identity, you're able to get into Canvas and everything that you need for school, more than likely. However, there is another way for you to log in, but we'll talk about that in just a second. So if you can see my screen, you'll see two different GIFs up here at the top. And one of them is showing you how, the bottom one is showing you how to log in. So what you're gonna do for rapid identity is you're going to make sure your username is going to be your student's lunch number. That's how the kids know it. They know it by their lunch number, but that is their UID. So their student ID number is going to be their lunch number, and they're going to put that in as the username. No AM like they're used to, no initials, just the lunch number. And then their password is going to be whatever the school has given you. And so if you'll notice at the bottom for the majority of middle school and up, that's going to be just the username and the password. But we have made it easy for elementary school students so they do not have to always remember a password. So they use the pictograph. And so if you notice, it will keep this GIF up here at the top is showing you how to log in with the pictograph as well. So you will create your own password through that. So you will choose what pictures that you know you're going to remember and that your student is going to remember so that they'll be able to log in. And once you've logged in, you'll see your Canvas is going to be that red button, and that's what you're going to click on to get into your students' classrooms. Now, the other way, you know that we have had some rapid identity issues. And so there is a back door to get into Canvas, not into the other things like Power School and SchoolNet, but to get into Canvas, we do have a back door per se, and that is going to be this address that you see on the screen. Now, this is not our preferred method because, again, you won't have access to those other things that you need. But when we run into those emergencies where, you know, the state of North Carolina has a rapid identity issue and you cannot log in, now you have another way to be able to do that. And you're going to use your login with Google icon and log in as your student. The next thing you're going to do, for those of you who have, you run into some issues, like it'll say authentication issue and things of that nature. Sometimes maybe you haven't claimed your account yet. So make sure that you go through the process of claiming your account, and you'll do that through using, again, the student ID number. And then you're gonna need to know the password that your school is using, because every school uses something different. The other thing, you will run into some other authentication issues where you'll type in your username and your password, but it'll still keep saying stuff like authentication error, and you know that you've already claimed your account. Then you're going to need to contact your teacher or your data manager. They can reset your password for you. So if you run into that issue, contact your teacher and your data manager. They will reset it for you, give you what the new password will be, and then you will be able to log in and change your password to something that you'll be able to remember. Okay? So so now that we are logged into Canvas, Jake is going to tell you guys what to do once you get in there.
Yeah. All right. So we're going to talk about well, there's lots of elephants in the room, but Canvas is probably one of the larger ones this school year. And look, the slide's even gray, like an elephant, right? Okay, so I'm going to take a minute and talk to you just about a few things. This isn't going to be an in-depth Canvas tutorial, but I do want to run through a few common problems that that parents are voicing to us and not understanding about how their students access Canvas and things. So we're going to talk about how students are going to view and access their courses. We're going to talk about some different view options for the student dashboard, and I'll show you what that means in just a minute. I'm going to show you where their Canvas calendar is. I'm going to show you how they can contact their teacher through their inbox inside of Canvas, and how they can find their grades and their assignments as well. And then we're going to talk about a couple of common errors that students might run into. And for this part, actually, so exciting. We're going to jump right in. We're actually going to go into Canvas. Now, My Canvas instance is a lot more empty than probably your student's Canvas is, because I don't have English courses and civics courses that I'm enrolled in. But once your students have accessed Canvas through Rapid Identity, remember, they'll click on that Canvas button, they'll come here. And this is called the student dashboard. The student's courses are all of these cards, right? So each of these cards is a course that the student is enrolled in. So if I was a student, this would say English 3 Johnson, Geometry Smith, or whatever, whatever the naming conventions are. To get into the course, all they have to do is click on that card and it'll take them right to the course. So if I go to my demo course, which has absolutely nothing in it. So, but if it did, this is where things would show up for the students, right? So that's their dashboard. That's what they see when they land automatically. Now, if you're noticing that your student logs in and he's supposed to see Miss Smith's English course, but it is not showing on this dashboard right here, there's a couple of things that could be causing that. The first place I'm going to ask you to check is on the left-hand side where you've got a button that says courses. So Canvas is trying to show you what it thinks you want to see right here. But sometimes if you have a lot of courses you're enrolled in, there's not enough room for all of these cards. And so they hide over here under this courses button. So you can click on courses. It'll give you a list. You can click on all courses. And now you can see I had all of these courses that I'm actually enrolled in, but it was only showing me 2 on my dashboard. So check the courses tab. If you're like, I can't find their course, it's supposed to be there, check the courses tab. It might just be hiding, okay? The other thing though is, and by now, at this point in the year, hopefully this isn't an issue, but if a teacher has forgotten to publish their course, then you're not gonna be able to see it. So if Miss Smith accidentally clicked the unpublished button in her geometry course, and your student can't see that course on their dashboard and it's not under all courses and you know they're supposed to be in it, then it's possible that the teacher has just unpublished the course by accident, or maybe had forgotten to click the publish button. Send a polite email or something to that classroom teacher asking how your students can access their courses, okay? It's usually just a button click to fix. It's something got missed along the way. All right, so speaking about this dashboard, someone messaged me the other day and said, my student, when they log in, they have a list of about 50 things to do. When they on Canvas, it's confusing because they see all the tasks from all their teachers. I don't know how to keep it straight. So part of it was they didn't know how to get to this screen where they can go to each individual course. So I showed you that already. But if you are interested in seeing your to-do list all in one place, students, it's up here at the top. So where it says dashboard, if you look over to the right, there are 3 dots vertically. If I click this, it'll give me a couple different view options. So I'm on card view right now, which shows me the courses, but I can also click on list view, and this is going to show me a to-do list. Now, because I'm not a student, I don't have assignments assigned to me with due dates right now. But if your students, when they come here, they will see a list of all of the assignments that they have due from all of their teachers with the dates that they are due. For some students, that's overwhelming and they don't want to look at it. And who can blame them, really? I understand. Maybe they prefer the card view, but you can get to the to-do list right here. Likewise, you can get to recent activity, which will show them things that they completed recently, right? I tend to live on card view because I'm not a student, but if your students are looking to access courses, they're going to want to do it from card view. So if you're not seeing this and you want to, you select it from these 3 dots in the upper right-hand corner to get to card view and list view. All right, we're going to talk real quick about the calendar too, because the calendar is another place where students can come to see all of the assignments that they have due from all of their courses in one place. So students, when they log in, will have a calendar icon right over here on the left. So I'm going to click there and it will populate a calendar. And again, I don't have assignments due to me, but students who do have assignments due, D-U-E, those assignments will show up on the calendar for the dates that they are due. They will show up right here. So if there was a math assignment due on the 17th and an English assignment due on the 16th, they would show up on the calendar. It would say English assignment here and math assignment here. Over on the right, just something that you should be aware of, it is possible to turn on and off various courses on this calendar. So if you notice when you're like, oh, their courses are grayed out and none of their assignments are showing, all you have to do is click the little checkbox right next to the course name, and it will turn that assignment or that course back on in the calendar, and all of the assignments from that course will show on your calendar. All right, so make sure students are checking the calendar. It's probably for the way my brain works, at least, it's the easiest way of seeing a breakdown of when my assignments are due from which classes is looking right at the calendar. All right, so that's the Canvas calendar. I do want to talk about a place where there might be some communication from your child's teacher, and that is in their inbox, which is right over here. And if they ever get a message in their inbox from their teacher, it will splash a little red badge, like an unread notification right over here in the inbox. And it's not rocket science. It's a miniature email platform for messaging back and forth. Students can only message their teachers. They cannot message one another. So teachers can message them and they can message their teachers, but students can't message each other. So some teachers, especially in secondary, still prefer email through Gmail, through Hoke County email. So it might be two places to check, but just know that they might get messages there in the inbox. Okay, good. Oh, let's talk about viewing assignments and grades. So I talked to you about the best way really to see your assignments. And the best way to see a student's assignments, if you are a student anyway, back to the dashboard, is to go to the calendar or to check out your to-do list. That's going to show you all your courses combined, what you have due and when. But if you want to see just the assignments that are due to you in a certain course, that's a little bit trickier depending on the preferences that the teacher has set up in that course. So if I go into my course, if I'm a student and I'm in Miss Smith's English class, I've got all these blue buttons available in my course right now, but a student might not see all of these options. If you see assignments, you can click on assignments and it will show you exactly what you have due in that course alone. If you don't see the word assignments, it means the teacher has chosen not to show that word in the menu. But don't worry, remember, you can still get to all your assignments through the calendar or through the to-do list. They're still all there. As far as grades, you're not actually going to check your grades in Canvas. You're going to continue checking your grades in PowerSchool, the same as you always have before. Okay, so PowerSchool is the king for grades in Hoke County. So that's where you're going to go, right? So you're going to be like, but kids are getting graded in Canvas. That's true, but all those grades are going to be sent back to PowerSchool. So go check your grades in PowerSchool, okay? All right, so let's jump back to the slide deck here and let's talk about a couple of things that you might run into. I've probably handled 5 of these this week already. Inside of Canvas, the biggest error that you're probably gonna run into is, I'm calling it the Google authorization loop of death. Okay, so I'm perhaps over dramatic, but it feels that way. Yeah. Okay, so we are a Google district, so kids have Gmail accounts, Google Drive, Google Docs, all that Google stuff, and teachers use them in their Canvas courses. To do that, students need to authorize their Google account to work in Canvas. The first time they try to do anything with Google in Canvas, it's going to ask them to authorize. 95% of the time, it works just fine. For about 5% of you out there, you're going to get stuck in a loop where you're going to get a screen that looks just like this. It's going to say authorize. You're going to do exactly what it tells you to do. And then guess what? It's going to show you that same screen again. And you're like, oh, maybe I just didn't click it the right way. Let me click on it again. You're going to click on it again, and it's going to bring you right back to the same spot again. This is a problem with the cookies and the browsing data inside the browser. So you're not doing anything wrong. It's just some stuff needs reset into students' browsers. Okay. Unfortunately, that's not something a student can do on their own. They're going to, because of privacy settings and access settings for student accounts, they're going to need some assistance. So students, talking to you and parents of those students, if you run into this issue, ask your media coordinator for help. They'll know exactly what to do. They just have to move you to a reset container. Tell them I need to reset my cookies to get this thing to work. They will help you do that. If you are an online student, just email or call tech support with the information we're going to show you in a couple more slides, and we will help you do it virtually. All right. Once that's been fixed, you will still see this screen pop up like for just a split second, but then it'll go away and you'll see what you're actually supposed to see. All right. But that's the biggest thing that you're going to see inside of Canvas is probably a Google error. Now you might run into a few other minor issues, like maybe there's a quiz you're supposed to take that's missing some questions. Maybe the teacher says, use the attached file, but then you look and there's no attached file. All of that stuff isn't really a tech support issue. That's an issue that you're just gonna need to follow up with your teacher about, okay? So if you're having issue with like class assignments or I can't find, you said you posted this thing, or the link's broken, or I can't find your Zoom link, or all that kind of stuff. Those are going to be teacher issues. So politely ask your teacher for some guidance there. Okay. There is inside of Canvas a button that looks just like this. It says need help. It's in the lower left-hand corner of the dashboard. You see it right there? It says need help. That button is for broken Canvas things, right? So like, all of my courses are missing this morning when I logged in. They were here yesterday, but they're all missing now. Something is clearly wrong. right? Or when I click on this menu, all it does is open and flash at me. It doesn't actually do what it's supposed to. That's a broken Canvas issue. So you're going to click on that Need Help button and fill out a support ticket. And one of the Canvas team is going to get back with you to get that addressed, okay? What that button is not for is for issues with homework, questions about Zoom, questions about homework, any of that kind of stuff. The Canvas folks aren't going to be able to help with that at all. They don't know what your teacher's Zoom code is, right? So direct those kinds of questions to your classroom teachers first, and then tech support if you need to, right? But steer away from this button unless it's something that's like actually broken with the website itself. I hope that makes sense. All right. Shauna, you're back up, I think. Speaking of Zoom.
Speaking of Zoom, which is our other favorite, let's talk about how first your students, your children need to access Zoom, because we have had, that several issues where you're like, my teacher won't let me in. I can't get in class. I'm sitting out in the waiting room. And a lot of times that's because we really just want to make sure that our children are safe. So a lot of these little barriers that you may run into, they can be a little irritating, but we want to make sure that our children are safe, because I don't know who just Billy is. I need to know that this is Billy Graham that's actually signed up for my class. So I know that some of you have been like, well, I can't change my name. I don't know how to change my name. So if you look on the screen where you see the circle, the app is already downloaded on the Chromebook. So all your child needs to do is to click on the actual app, which is down at the bottom. And then they'll see the next picture, which says join a meeting, start a meeting. They're going to click join a meeting. No, they don't have to sign in or do anything like that. They just click join a meeting, and then they will type in their name. And then after that, most of the time, their name will automatically show up every time. Now, if you are trying to get into your teacher's Zoom by going to the browser at the top and typing in zoom.us, and then you click on join a meeting, what it's going to do is not give you the opportunity to type a name in. And that's where we've been running into some issues where students are trying to get into their Zoom links, but they're not able to change their name. And so teachers are not letting them in, because Zoom bombing is a real thing and it is happening, but we want to make sure that our students are safe. So teachers will not allow students into their classrooms or into their Zoom rooms if they do not have the first and last name typed in right there. So please, that's been one of our biggest issues. Now, if you are having some other, a couple of other troubleshooting issues, like you get an update error, then all you're going to need to do is log out of the Chromebook. Then you're going to remove yourself as a user from that Chromebook, and then start all over again and log back into the Chromebook, and it should work. We have had issues where your sound and your camera is not working. As you'll continue to hear us say all night, is if you are an A-day, B-day student, you go to school 2 days a week physically, you will go reach out to your media coordinator and they can help you with that. If you are an HCS online student, that means that you are home all the time online, then you're going to call tech support and we will support you and help you with that. Also, if there's an issue with the Zoom link, like you're like, oh, I can't find the Zoom link, I don't know the password to this, you have to contact your teacher, because we don't have that information. We've gotten a lot of phone calls from baby saying, do you know our Zoom? I don't know the Zoom ID. Can you help us? And now we really do. We work hard and we'll call the school and we'll do what we have to do to make sure our babies can get into those Zoom rooms, and we'll go in and talk to the teacher and say, hey, the baby was struggling. But ultimately, the quickest route is to reach out to your teacher, because we don't have that information. And the last thing, once you have your name and everything on there, you will see that it may say waiting for the meeting to start. And that's just simply the teacher putting you in a waiting room so that they can make sure that they physically admit each student in, so that we'll know that all of our students are in and not the Zoom bombers who like to come in and mess up our classrooms. I think Jake is moving to the next.
Yeah, I am moving to the next slide, but I was sorry, I was distracted by Zoom bombers because they happen. they happen. All right, so let's talk about you as the parent, your access to Canvas. So of course your students have access. They can see all their classwork, they can see their assignments and participate in discussions and all that kind of stuff. But you might not know that as a parent, you have the ability to observe their classwork and their courses inside of Canvas as well. So what that means is you sign up to Canvas as an observer. So you'll see basically everything that the student sees, but you won't be able to like answer questions in the class or turn in assignments or any of that kind of stuff, but you'll see what they have to do. It's not difficult to do. I'm going to ask one of my folks who are out there in the YouTube chat to maybe take this bit.ly link and post it into the chat there so that folks can click on it directly and go visit the instructions that are there. But this bit.ly link that's on the screen is going to take you straight to some instructions that tell you exactly what you need to do if you are interested in seeing in signing up as an observer to your students' Canvas account. You can do it on the web. Super easy. There's also an iOS and an Android app called Canvas Parent. You can see it's right here on this little iPhone on the screen. So whichever way you prefer, you can keep your kids' assignments right in your hip pocket or in your purse, or you can just wait and check on it from the website when you get home at night. It's really up to you. But the instructions are not difficult. It basically boils down to you're going to create your account, and then you're going to type in a code that will link you to your student. Your student will have to generate that code from their Canvas. So your student will sign into Canvas, click the button that says, give me this code, and then they'll give it to you. You'll type it into your account, and you two will be linked together inside of Canvas. That's all you got to do. And you can do that for multiple students. So if you have a student in 7th grade and a student in 5th grade, you can link to both of them and see everything that's going on for them there. Okay. We've talked a lot at you. I know in a short time. Believe it or not, our time is over, if not nearly over, if not over already. But what I need you to take away from this, number one, is if you're having classroom issues, talk to your classroom teacher first. Okay, they're the ones who are going to be able to help you the quickest, is your classroom teacher. It's not that we won't try to help. If we can, we will. But you're going to get more rapid direct support by contacting your teacher politely first. So try there for classroom issues. If you need tech support, problem with devices, all that kind of stuff, start with your media coordinator if you're an AB student. Otherwise, contact us. The email address you can reach us at is right here, dtif@hcs.k12.nc.us. You can also call this phone number, which will come to our department, and we will do our very best to help you. So at this point, I'm going to pause for just a moment and direct my eyes to our team chat, where if there were questions that we need to answer, we will see pop up in the chat window. I don't see any so far. Okay, I'm going to take the lack of chats popping up, meaning that there aren't any burning questions out there right now. Let us know how else we can help. We have another session starting in like 25 minutes or so for folks who need help with iPads with this kind of stuff. So stick around. We'll see you then. Until next time, see you later.
Good night, everyone.